دنیا شده آماده یک جنگ جهانی، دنیا شده آماده یک جنگ جهانی. فریاد شیاطین جهان خار یهودی بیرون زده از حنجره شاه سعودی، بیرون زده از حنجره شاه سعودی. تکفیری و وهابی و داعش شده همدست، اینها همه زیر سر شیطان بزرگه. تا روح خدا در دل این خاک دمیده، تا روح خدا در دل این خاک دمیده. دشمن به خودش یک شب آرام ندیده، دشمن به خودش یک شب آرام ندیده. کم کم همه جا میرسد آوای حسینی، بین المللی میشود این ارث خمینی. آرام و قرار همه کفر به هم خود، بیداری اسلامی دنیا که رقم خود. با ما سخن از جنگ مگو ما که نمردی، ما پاسختان را به دم تیغ سپردی. از منطق ما حذف شده واژه تسلیم، در شام و عراق و یمن آماده جنگی، در شام عراق و یمن آماده جنگی. در امر حاصل گبابیل ببارد، هر قلب تلابی که سجیل ببارد. فردا که دم حیدری از کعبه براید، فردا که دم حیدری از کعبه براید. دوران معاوی صفتها به سرآید.
What's poppin'? My friends, my family, we're back once again. And let me ask you guys something. Who do you guys think is more motivated to fight this war right now? This war of survival for our brothers in Iran who've been preparing for this for decades. Do you guys think that these sellout teenagers who only sign up for the military so they can get free education and free college, do they think they stand a chance against these motherfuckers based Iran, who they are starting a revolution in the Middle East right now? Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and the United States, they made a massive, massive miscalculation. And the United States is probably suffering one of its greatest defeats in my lifetime. And I'm so glad I get to live through it. You know, their whole goal of implementing regime change in Iran, good luck with that. Now, Iran is decolonizing the entirety of the Middle East right now. You guys realize that? Do you guys understand the massive embarrassment of the United States right now? How United States bases have been proven to be a poison pill for United States allies. The Gulf states are furious at Donald Trump. Saudi Arabia is throwing them under the bus. And what did anti-imperialists warn these people? We warned you guys for decades, my entire life. What did people in the global south, what did anti-imperialists in the imperial core warn these sellouts? If you host United States bases, you put your people more at risk. So you understand the massive blow the United States empire has taken? They united the Arab world against them. In killing the Ayatollah, the only thing they did is martyred him and created a hero who will go down in generations. They murdered his entire family, fam. They murdered his young granddaughter. These psychopaths. Let me see if I can find it. Look at this. This is who they murdered. And this is what all the liberal feminists are cheering for. This is what the media refuses to bring up. Look at this poor soul that was snuffed out by the Zionist demons. Granddaughter of martyr Saeed Khamenei, 14-month baby, Zara Muhammad. This is what the Baal worshippers snuffed out from humanity. So you goddamn right I'm standing with the soldiers in Iran that fight this existential threat. We all, as humanity, need to unite against the Baal-worshipping scum who murdered children. They murdered 150 schoolgirls. Meanwhile, there are Western feminists. There are these Iranian diaspora scum. They're doing TikTok videos celebrating the mass murder of children in one of the greatest humanitarian one of the greatest acts of war, one of the greatest war crimes in modern human history. 150 children murdered. The family of the Ayatollah slaughtered. And what do you guys think the reaction to this was? Did Donald Trump think this would lead to the Middle East turning against Iran? Did they think this would lead to the Iranian people who already was coming out in massive support for their government in light of massive attacks? Do you think that will break the spirit? No. They're now rallying together and you're not going to see any of this on corporate media because now you have people in Iran who are ready to fight and die for this war. So I'll ask you once again, who do you guys think is in a better position to fight this war? These college kids who are shitting themselves, hiding in civilian areas? They're being snuffed out so badly that the United States has to lie about their casualty numbers. Bro, the United States military getting wrecked. So do you think those young college kids, those class traitors, the people who just went free college, do you think they stand a chance against this?
فریاد شیاطین جهان خان یهودی بیرون زده از حنجره شاه سعودی بیرون زده.
That's my shit. I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I started with that because it's base as fuck. I had to show you guys that. What an amazing culture. You guys never gonna convince me to hate my Persian brothers and sisters in Iran. And they were fighting the battle of a lifetime. You can't tell me that shit don't get you guys fired up. Bro, I was in the back before the stream getting hyped listening to this. So who do you think stands a chance? The United States military, who I explained to you guys, they don't win conflicts. They exploit conflict for profit. The United States has lost every single war in the modern era. Do you guys remember how I explained that to you? Remember how I explained to people how Iran will fuck up the United States in the war? Now the Pentagon is throwing the Trump administration under the bus. They're like, I don't know why did Donald Trump attack them. We warned them not to do this. Hey, Donald Trump was like, hey, yo, by the way, they was about to attack us first. And then the Pentagon was like, no, they wasn't. Fuck this guy. They wasn't doing that shit. We all dying for this shit. And it's only going to get worse because they already depleting their stockpiles. Pete Hegseth is having a meltdown in public about the fact that they're running out of shit to defend their own men. And Iran's just getting started, fam. Do you understand the glorious times we are in right now? Iran is single-handedly decolonizing the Middle East, showing the paper tiger that is the United States empire. And the only thing that Jewish supremacists can say right now is thanking the dead Goy soldiers for sacrificing their life on behalf of Israel. Can you imagine? It couldn't be me. Donald Trump, he literally said, like, well, guys, a lot of us gonna die in this conflict. It's the way it is. Bro, imagine how cooked you have to be. Imagine how humiliated you have to be as a president to say some shit like this.
And send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. Are you serious? Hey, you guys, the dumb goys, you guys got to die for Israel. That's just the way it is. Bro, imagine being this cooked, bro. We have the president of the United States looking at the goys and saying, you just gotta die for Israel, motherfucker. What you expect this is gonna be? Like, bro, what are you talking about? Bro, in any reality, in any country ever, this is political suicide. In a war that is massively unpopular, where you obviously had no plan, your own military is leaking shit against you. You lost the confidence in your own party, bro. There are Republicans like, I don't know about this, bro. They already making statements like, I had nothing to do with this shit, bro. This is a colossal defeat by the United States empire. I don't think a lot of people are recognizing this. Look at this is the tone of a defeated man. And what does it say? That the only thing they can say to the United States soldiers is thank you for dying for Israel like a chump. Thank you for wasting your life like a chump.
Send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but send our immense love. And
you guys got to die for Israel, fam. John Fetterman, Donald Trump, Bill Ackman, all these people, they're saying, hey, you got to get in the dumb goy box. That's your fault. What do you think your job is? Your job is to die for us. Here's John Fetterman, who was like, man, I'm the only Democrat who support this war. I think we should send our troops to die for Israel. And fam, they are hiding the death counts. They're getting snuffed out. What did I warn you guys? I said last year, if you're in the military, if you know people in the military, you better get out right now. I'm not mourning for your dumb ass. Your dumb goy ass fighting for Israel, trying to get a free education, and now you're getting snuffed out. And then John Fetterman, all the Jewish supremacists, like, thank you for your sacrifice, dumbass. I grieve with and extend my deepest condolences to the family and wish a full and quick recovery for the others. They represent the absolute best of us. What he said, he's like, they're the absolute best of the goyim. So this is what I've been floating around. This is the dead goy box. Do you guys know? This is where the Jewish supremacists, they all posted tweets. Laura Loomer, they all like, I appreciate the service. I appreciate the sacrifice. I appreciate your sacrifice. As your Jewish asses, they signed up for the IDF. And they laughing at your stupid goy ass. You like, I'm going to defend my country. Bro, you're defending Israel, you dumb piece of shit. And now you're dead. Dead for Israel. And you want to see what people like Bill Ackman is saying? Look at Bill Ackman. Bro, they literally trolling you guys. You guys realize that? You realize that the Jewish supremacists are trolling you? The greatest sacrifice one can make is for a goy to give their life for Israel. Well, he didn't type that, but tell me he's not saying that right now. Tell me that's not what he's saying in this tweet. He said the only thing you fucking goys are good for is dying for war with us. That's why we engage in class warfare against the working class and try to make your life hell and hard as possible. So you have no choice but to sign up for the military. We call it a poverty draft. But I believe that we need to demilitarize the Epstein class and make it culturally toxic and unacceptable to be foot soldiers for these motherfuckers. Because then once you get smoked fighting the war, man, you're not gonna get my sympathy. Fuck you in Kuwait for? Why are you in Iraq for? Now you have civilians being slaughtered by these same United States soldiers because they're uprising against United States bases. And they're slaughtering innocent civilians in Iraq who are rising against them. But I'm supposed to feel bad for these people? They're Bill Ackman foot soldiers. You're not defending our country. You're not protecting and serving. You are serving this billionaire Jewish supremacist asshole. And fam, every single one of them making tweets like this. Can you imagine your one life, you spent it fighting for these motherfuckers? That's embarrassing. So it can be hard to listen to when I say stuff like this. But isn't it better for us to have this hard conversation right now than for you to send your fucking children out to die fighting for the Epstein class? All right, let me continue this. The greatest sacrifice one can make is to give up one life for another. We literally fucking taunting the. Oh my god, bro! I can't believe like military families are cooked, bro. In this case, for hundreds of millions of Americans, 90 million freedom-loving Iranians, and the rest of the world from whom a nuclear and terrorist threat is in the process of being removed. Words are inadequate to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for Israel. What? That's what he's saying, bro. Words are inadequate to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for us. So Bill Ackman, this is what I said. Bill Ackman said, thank you for getting into the dead goy box. How Americans not infuriated by this? You got American pilots being shot down.
1 minute.
Right now, bro, they losing soldiers in the Middle East, bro. This is the death of Donald Trump's presidency. It's funny that they're fucking around and finding out. I think that's funny. I think it's funny that they try to sign up to be foot soldiers for the Epstein class, and they're realizing that there are consequences to their actions. You guys realize that the global South don't see these people as young, innocent, dumb children. No, they made a choice. You guys make a choice to sell out the working class, to sell out the global working class in order to serve the Epstein regime. Why do you guys think Donald Trump and the ruling class can flagrantly break international law? You give them political power. Political power is nothing but the force you can exert, and you guys are volunteering people power in order to uphold a system of genocide and oppression, and you want me to feel bad for them? You want me to feel bad for them after all the crimes that they committed, all the people they slaughtered overseas? And they know this now. They know this. It's not like the 70s and 60s. They know what the fuck you're signing up for. They tried to invade Iran and murder as many people. They slaughter over 100 children. They're complicit with these crimes. So I find it funny when the criminals pay for their actions. I told you, I'm unleashed now. I tell you, I'm unleashed. I'm not here to protect white respectability feelings, because this is the consequences of the culture that is dominant, the military warfare.
Please, yes, 1 minute. 1 minute.
They got your boy.
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
You guys know what this is? One of the pilots got shot out of the sky. And now they got your boy because you brainwashed these people with the idea that what the best thing you can do is sacrifice your life on behalf of the empire. So I'd rather offend people and sound crude to stop this from happening and stop people from making this absurd decision to serve a genocidal regime. And all these people are dying for it. Like this is what they're returning to. This is the dead goy box in a nutshell. Here you go. So, fam, do you realize how fast this shit is about to go south for Donald Trump? Because the American people were strongly against the Venezuelan war, but not because like American people are highly moral or whatever. It's just they don't like seeing the United States lose. They don't like seeing their boys go back in dead goy boxes. So one of the most damning facts about a lot of Americans is that before Nicolas Maduro was kidnapped from Venezuela, the polls from like Republican support for the conflict was really low. Then once it was revealed that the United States successfully killed over 100 Venezuelans and kidnapped Nicolas Maduro, you guys know that there was a boost in support for the Venezuelan opposition. Like it went from like 30% Republicans supported it. Then Trump successfully kidnapped Maduro, and then it shot to like 58% of Republicans supported it, or something like that. So the point being, and it's shown throughout history, that a lot of Americans, they're down for some empire shit if they see us being successful. And they believe that we were being successful, we promoting strength. But the second that shit starts going south, how do you think American public sentiment will turn? American public sentiment is already at 29%. I saw a poll where only 29% of the American people support this war. So what do you think is going to happen when there's more footage of these dead bodies arriving and people see the American life and the cost of this war? You had the Straits of Hormuz that shut down, just around 1/5 of the world's oil where it's shipped, the Straits of Hormuz. Only Russia and Chinese ships are allowed to go through. And when you're shutting off the flow for 1/5 of the world's energy price of oil shipments, what do you guys think happens to the price of oil? The market's already open and they are tanking. The price of oil is already set to skyrocket. So as the Europeans start to feel this, as the global working class start to feel this, as Americans start to pay more for energy in order to fight a war on behalf of the Epstein class, what do you think is going to happen to that 29% number? What do you guys think is going to happen to American support? Compare that to Iran, where they're engaging in war chants. They're meeting in the tens of thousands, chanting death to America. Donald Trump begged for mercy, begged for a ceasefire, and Iran was like, "Nah, we good. We want bait. We good. We want war." And this is what they're hiding. Like the U.S. losses go far beyond a few dead soldiers. We're in the fog of war, so both sides, they tend to, in war, hide the amount of damage that they're taking. But the Iranians got information that United States soldiers was using civilian infrastructure and using civilians as human shields. And it was housing United States soldiers in hotels in Kuwait, hotels in UAE, in these Gulf Arab states. And they caught the United States off guard because they targeted them. So United States soldiers, there's like 4 to 5 times more, and that's a lot of people estimate, injured and killed than what being suggested. Iran and Russia, they're putting a lot of crazy numbers out there. Like I saw RT, they was like over 550 United States soldiers have been killed. I don't know if I believe that. Not yet. I guess it's possible, but we gotta be very skeptical with numbers that come from both sides. Because I've seen shit from Russian media. I was like, man, that's not true, man. That can't be true. So, but either way, the truth is somewhere in between. And that's the United States soldiers are getting fucked up. And this is going to be a legacy-defining moment, not just for Donald Trump, but everyone in this ruling class. The United States is getting humiliated. And the Middle East is being decolonized. Let's play this clip and I'll continue. We have Palestine News Network that will be joining us later in the show. So we got a banger for you guys tonight. You guys know I'm always in the lab cooking. And we got a lot of cover tonight, so let's get to this video.
From a military standpoint, this is a legitimate defense that they're putting up against the United States.
Oh, yes.
No question.
Absolutely.
Right. This is not like rah-rah stuff because people on either side are going to exaggerate their wins and their losses. You're saying from a military standpoint, they are having real wins in this situation.
And the Central Command, where they said, "Oh, we've lost. We had 3 killed, 5 wounded."
Let me know if you can hear this.
I guarantee you that is a lie. I'm not going to say how many because I don't.
The fact that they can admit that. Let me know how the audio is on this, guys, in the chat. But the United States empire is getting pounded in the Middle East. And this is what I warn people about. This is what many anti-imperialists, not just me, but many people warn about. The United States this is not Iraq, fam. This is not Venezuela. War with Iran will have catastrophic consequences. People thought I would just talk. Do you guys realize I wasn't just talking shit when I said the United States military, they haven't won a war in the modern era, and they are extremely overrated by the American people. And they are tricked into believing that we can just conquer any country, and then they consistently get humbled. And Iran is teaching you guys a hard lesson. That fam, I'm not saying Iran is walking away unscathed. They're obviously taking a lot of hits too. But the West cannot sustain this. They are being demilitarized in the Middle East, and they come from a culture, and they come from people who do not want to see any casualty. They're extremely casualty averse. The Iranians will mourn everyone who perished and who are martyred in this war. But it's not like the Iranian government will be blamed for that. The West and their enemies will be blamed for that, and the government will be empowered even more. But let's finish this clip, because we have some banger guests join us today. We have Palestine News Network. I will be bringing them in here very soon. Let's play this clip from the beginning. I got a fucking ton to cover. We got a lot of banger guests joining us. Zoya being in the lab cooking as well. We got my friend Adnan Hussein who's coming back. I love that brother. He joined us on, I think it's Wednesday, isn't it right, Zoya? But let's play this clip and we'll begin to transition to our next segment with our Palestine News Network brothers and sisters.
From a business, I mean, from a military standpoint, this is legitimate defense that they're putting up against the United States.
Oh, yes.
No question.
Absolutely.
Right. This is not like rah-rah stuff, because people on either side are going to exaggerate their wins and their losses. You're saying from a military standpoint, they are having real wins in this situation.
And the Central Command, where they said, oh, we've lost, we had 3 killed, 5 wounded. That's a lie. Guarantee you that is a lie. I'm not going to say how many, because I don't know. But it's a lot more. I guarantee you, there's a lot more than 3 people killed. If you watch the damage photos coming in, Chinese satellites, other satellites, the damage that they've done. There's even a French base in the UAE that's burning right now. A French aviation base.
From a business, I mean, from a military standpoint.
So who knows what the numbers is now? I saw more reporting of United States personnel being struck before the stream. I couldn't verify before I went live, but this is going horrific for the United States. Not only that, you have a massive uprising after they killed the Ayatollah. This showed how much Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, and the United States empire, because they would listen to a bunch of dipshits in Israel. They didn't realize just a massive effect killing a titan of a figure like Khamenei would have in the Middle East. So once again, I always gotta be careful showing these clips, because YouTube have policies about showing warfare. But look, U.S. embassy in Iraq is in flames. Iraqis are storming the U.S. embassy right now, torching the compound and breaching walls. Chaos is imploding all over the Middle East. Fam, do you realize what's happening right now? As I mentioned before, Iran is completely decolonizing the Middle East. They are demilitarizing the West in the Middle East. Because now there are reports of U.S. personnel fleeing them, because they already lost a lot of assets. They lost untold hundreds of millions of dollars in assets in the Middle East. And now they're fleeing. Now they're retreating. Now Spain kicked their ass out. Spain was like, hell no, nah, get the fuck out of here. Now people are telling them to leave. United States allies lost confidence in the protection of the United States. Now they're telling them to leave. So the United States is being demilitarized by Iran. Yes, Iran is taking a lot of losses, which is terrible. But the United States is being embarrassed, and they're taking a massive loss. And I'm just blessed to be alive to witness it, fam. But I want to start. I can reach the super chats when we start getting our guest in. Yeah. Do we have one more? We're gonna transition to our next segment. Let me read some super chats first, and then I'll bring in Palestine News Network. Baron Trump not fighting. Yeah, they're not sacrificing their kids. They thanking the Goys for saying their kids to fight for the Greater Israel Project. Barron Trump not fighting hereditary bone spurs. Thank you for your super chat. So glad they're still in the fight, Nick. I just subscribed. I appreciate you, my friend. You know the United States corporation will never admit defeat, even when it's so darn obvious. I'm just giving you guys my analysis. Like, we're still in the early fog of war, but I hope you guys at least understand where I'm coming from in the argument that I'm making. That it seems like this is going horrible for the United States. You have Saudi Arabia that's like, hey man, the United States abandoned us. You have Kuwait, you have all these United States client states who are realizing that selling out their people and having the United States invade their sovereignty does not equal protection, which proves us right, because we told them the United States bases are there to spy on your population. It's there to spy on your population and steal your sovereignty. It has nothing to do with protecting you. All right, let me read another super chat and I'll bring my guest in. We got to go into that. I appreciate you, my friend Eric Moore. I appreciate the super chats. Let's bring in our first guest. We have the Palestine News Network joining us. So let's start. I appreciate you guys joining. We had the Palestine News Network who joined us today. They do great reporting on geopolitics, amazing organizing around the issue of Palestine. It's great to finally have you guys on. Thank you, Abu Ross, I believe it is. Thank you for joining us tonight, RBN.
Thank you for having me. It's my first time here. I'm a little blown out, maybe, but I think my homie's a little darker. He didn't adjust for the light skin. But anyway, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I believe we have one of your colleagues join us here soon as well, and I'll be happy to introduce him once I see him. But first, I obviously want to get your position and your thoughts on what's going on in the Middle East. I've been showing how there are people rising up against United States bases all over the Middle East after the death of the Ayatollah. You had Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth in shambles today, avoiding media. It seems like this is going terrible for the United States. But I want to get your thoughts on the conflict, your perspective, and this moment in the region. What's your thoughts? Thank you for joining us once again.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor. No, like you said, I just feel lucky to be alive to witness it. Things I'd never witnessed. Now, where things go, who knows? But everybody's been positioning for decades, and people always said, "Oh, the resistance, they're just using it." No, now they've shown they were really about it, and now it's the final showdown. And I agree with you. I think it's not going the way they want, and I think Iran is in a fight to the death, whereas the U.S. isn't. Israel kind of isn't. But yeah, I think the hubris of America is meeting the reality of Iran is not a paper tiger, whereas America kind of is a paper tiger, So we'll see how it plays out. But I agree. I mean, I've been busy today, so I'm eager to catch up on all the specifics. But no, it's been I check my alerts I follow all the Arabic group chats. It's like new launch. I can't even keep up, So they're going all out. They're really like the last scene in Scarface right now, just rapid fire. Yeah. Everybody can get it. So, we'll see. But yeah, I feel the energy, I hate to make the analogy like sports. They're shooting out the gate strong. Like Iran's got it right now, but obviously it's early. God knows what's going to happen, and people are suffering. We never make light of it, but there is glory in Dubai, Tel Aviv, Saudi getting hit in the same day. It's a beautiful thing to see, not because we like violence, because we tried so hard. People like Nick tried so hard to be nice and explain. Nobody wanted to listen. Unfortunately, this is what has to happen.
Yeah, there need to be justice. I mean, there's no moving forward. There's no rehabilitation without justice. And the West murdered 150 school children, fam. So if you're feeling a little bit angry, if you catch yourself cheering when you see the United States getting hammered for that, I would just want to tell you guys that shit very normal. I believe that we've been brainwashed to believe in some ridiculous nonsense. I said it before that it's healthy to hate your oppressors. It feels good to see them lose. And I'm not apologizing for that, because it's a legitimate feeling because look at the sins that they commit. Look at how they devalue the lives of ordinary goyim, of the people in the global south, anyone who do they view as inhuman. And we know that's how the Epstein class think. 150 school children dead. And you guys see how the media dehumanized them? This is a great tweet from Alan. He does a great job breaking down corporate media propaganda. At least 153 dead after reported strike in school. What kind of strike? A lightning strike? Like, you guys see how they muddy the waters in these headlines? Versus when they talk about Israel, 9 dead in missile attack on Iran as Iran strikes the region. They're very specific when they talk about crimes against the empire versus their crimes. So I want your thoughts. Like, where's the thoughts in the Palestine community, your Arab brothers and sisters, regarding this tragedy? Because this is one of the greatest war crimes the United States have committed in years. 150 school children wiped out, and not even a sorry in the Western media. So, Alba, I want to get your reaction to this and how you think a lot of people are reacting. I think that's one of the reasons why there's so much uprisings in the Middle East, like this sacrifice that the Israelis and the United States engaged in murdering their children. What's your thoughts, Abu?
Yeah, I mean, the Palestinians know this is the face of the Israelis that they've been hiding. You know, it's like an abused child that knows everybody else sees the nice side. No, we know that, and now the world has learned. But yeah, it's definitely, to me, this whole Al-Aqsa flood has been very, if you're paying close attention, just the timing. To me, the way the initial things were Khomeini getting killed and those 150 schoolgirls, it kind of sets the tone of now Iran's ready to go till the end. Like that's not a good way to start the war. And as well as the whole rest of the world sees it as well. So yeah, it's like, if I'm going to fight you, Nick, I know you're MA. What if I came in and punched your daughter in the face before the fight? It's probably not a good idea. Like, probably not the best idea. So, and then the Khomeini thing, it's like they get these Pyrrhic victories. They get a quick sugar rush. 8 hours later, boom, they're back to crying. So I think, no, it's an awful tragedy. This is these people's MO, though. They try to pretend like they're we are the Mossad, we know everything. No, all they do, it's basic oppression. You get out of line, they'll get brutal and more brutal. They just take it to the level of they'll bomb your kids. It's like, this is what you're dealing with. And like we were saying earlier, there has to be justice. The Khomeini, if you read his tweets leading up to this, rest in peace, a big theme was the arrogant will soon be humbled. And that's the thing. It's like, you want to deal with these people, you can't. You have to humble them. You really got to humble them. Then maybe something could be worked out. So no, these people, God willing, they'll be fully humbled so that we can have some sort of justice for everybody. But no, it's madness. Rest in peace to the schoolgirls.
Yeah, it was a message by the Epstein class, the Zionist regime, where they wanted every Iranian to feel terror. And what do you call that political strategy? Isn't that terrorism, right? Because they wanted to spread terror in every Iranian, because they're like, look at what we did to Gaza. You see how we destroyed international law and we was able to do whatever we want to Gaza? We're going to do the same thing to you guys here in Iran. And they wanted to spread that fear. And another miscalculation of the Trump administration, and I'm not saying there wasn't fear, but the Iranians metastasized that fear into action. And they didn't allow them to split and divide them. Like, I think the United States wanted them to panic and make mistakes, but instead they got surgical and they used that as a rallying cry. And think about this sick culture. I want your thoughts on this. I saw some people spread this, and as much as I tend to avoid the like the religious angle of this kind of stuff, it's kind of freaky, especially after everything we learned from the Epstein files. The fact that they started this war after the burning of the Ball statue, like, you can't ignore this kind of stuff because they murdered all these Iranian children, and CNN even wrote an article about, hey, how this match up with Judaism and their culture, because you guys know they celebrate like a mass genocide of Persians in the religions. Like, what the fuck? Look at this. Danny Danon, an Israeli's ambassador to the UN, compared the imperialist Israeli-American war on Iran to build the biblical story of Purim. Am I saying that correctly? Everyone be talking about this Purim story, a story which concludes the massacre of 75,000 Persians. So you have these Israeli government officials openly quoting genocidal scripture in order to justify their war with Iran. Then they sacrifice 150 kids in light of celebration of the Purim or whatever. So it's clear that our Persian brothers and sisters in the resistance, they're not just fighting an empire, they're fighting a genocidal death code. You have any other thoughts on this attack? I'll give your thoughts before I continue, Abu.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest expert on all that, like you said, but no, I follow the Israeli press, and there's definitely that element. And the funny part is they always paint Iran to be these radical, crazy clerics. But if you actually tune in, yes, they also cite religion. In Shia, they cite Karbala and Ali. But if the story is actually fighting against an oppressor, so when their actually rallying cry is actually a real thing and an honorable thing. The Israelis, they do the same thing. So they make everybody else seem crazy. They're just as crazy by that standard. They cite their biblical stories to put stuff into context, but they're actually doing it for devilish reasons. So who's the religious fundamentalist these people are? They just are also Western secular at the same time. It's just a weird cocktail, but no, these people are out of their minds. They need to be.
I just want to analyze it from every angle. I know there's a lot of different angles you can analyze this from, but I just found it interesting. You know what I mean?
No, it's important because it informs how they think. Like Americans have George Washington. Everybody has their worldview, so that is part of the Jewish Israeli worldview, which I'm not the biggest expert on, but it's not made up. It is real. Yeah,
of course. I'm not an expert too, guys. You guys say I'm on the journey with you guys. I'm learning about this stuff too. I just find it interesting. Look, I believe that. Look at this one. I believe the evil Zionists want their new war in Iran to symbolically take place during Purim, which starts next Monday. And not just us. You have fucking CNN quoting this. Like you have CNN quoting Jewish scripture to justify the attack. And I showed this the other stream, so I won't belabor the point. But look, timing of U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran bears symbolic meaning in Judaism. This is what the Jewish supremacists are writing about in the media. I think it's extremely strange, but we can move on. Abu, any other thoughts?
No, I agree. But no, it's good that you need to tap in. You have to know your enemy, as they say. Not that Judaism's the enemy, but know how these people are thinking. What they're
of course.
So,
yeah, absolutely. Well, we're not supposed to bring up the shit that they believe. Like, let's go to this part right here, because I mentioned how the Pentagon and how the West they are in shambles over the response. I don't know what they expected, because the West have done simulations, the Israelis done simulations, and they kept warning that this war wouldn't go well. Many writers, scholars, geopolitical analysts, we had countless conversations on RBN, and I'm sure you guys have as well on the Palestine News Network, about like how disastrous this war with Iran would go. And the Pentagon. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free.
I was gonna say, in life, sometimes as this happens to us in different ways. You have something in mind, like maybe you want to do a show, and kind of there's some warning signs along the way, but you're so focused on your greed, or it's maybe a business. So it's like they're so focused on their obsession with taking these people out, and they're a little bit on a drunk high from they got Nasrallah, even though none of this is going in their favor. So they're blinded by, it's like greed almost. They want to take them out, that they're ignoring the warning signals, and now It's too late. They jumped off the bridge. They have to deal with it.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. I covered and I did a hotspot video on how the Pentagon was warning Trump. And now you guys see what I was talking about how the United States, they don't have the munitions to keep up and defend their people. And in Iran, they're purposely targeting radar and air defense systems and leaving U.S. troops defenseless. That's why the United States have to abandon the Gulf Arab states, and that's why Saudi Arabia is like, man, the United States abandoned us in order to protect Israel because Iran's strategy has been extremely precise. And I'm gonna see where I find you guys a great breakdown of this because military analysts, they've been cooking the last few days. Like people have been breaking down the strategy that Iran has used. I'm gonna find a breakdown and read it to you guys because people, the military people who study these kind of conflicts and wars, they've been having a field day. There've been a lot of great analysis from a lot of our comrades about this. But the inside of the Pentagon, the military, they're melting down. Like you can already see they're starting to throw each other under the bus. Donald Trump and the administration, in order to defend their actions after launching this unpopular war, I don't know if you saw this, Abu, but they was like, hey, we had intel that Iran was going to attack us first. They was going to launch a preemptive strike on us or Israel, and then Israel will be forced to respond, and then we will be forced to respond after our United States troops was attacked by Iran first. You know how bad it is for the Pentagon to come out with this, Abu, where the Pentagon was like, hey, no, that didn't happen. Look, Pentagon just threw Trump under the bus and tells Congress no sign that Iran was going to attack the United States first. So the Pentagon and the White House are in an information war against each other now because they don't want each other to take the blame. Isn't this incredible?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the Pentagon needs to maintain some credibility. They know it's retarded, and they know the whole world. This is not 2003. They know the whole world. It's like, look on Twitter, the America First, the leftists, everybody knows it's a joke. So, and then it's obviously Iran wouldn't strike first. They can't play that game. They have to wait to get struck. So now they can hit back. And guess what? They're justified. They know if the opposite happened, they wouldn't have that moral, whatever you want to call it. It would shake their case. So, but no, it's mad. And then I would say it's like immunization. The Iraq war was an immunization for the American people. So now when they're trying all this same bullshit, it doesn't work because they've been immunized. It's just not working. Like
they're really trying the same ass lazy ass boomer propaganda. And I don't know if how that shit ever worked on Gen X and boomers, but the new age of people like me and many others who follow this war and people who debunk propaganda, yourself and the amazing work that you guys are doing, we're seeing what Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio are saying from the White House. And you fucking amateurs. I'm gonna bring your friend in because I think your friend is here. But let's play this clip first, and I get both of you guys to react because Marco Rubio and them, after avoiding the media for a clean 24 hours, Donald Trump loves the media. That's the only thing you can give him credit over Biden on because Biden hid from the media. Trump is always in front of the media. Not over the last 24 hours. Extremely controlled. They in shambles.
It went from boom,
boom. Free.
I was just saying boom, boom, Tel Aviv. Now it's boom, boom, Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Anyway.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play this clip, and now I'm gonna bring your friend in. I think your friend has joined us now. So let's play this clip, and I get you guys to react because this is Marco Rubio explaining why he had to sacrifice the Goy soldiers, and why they got because the Pentagon and the Trump administration are fighting over the official reason why they started this war. And now here they make it clear.
The second question that's been asked is why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
So he admits that the United States soldiers have to die because Israel was going to get drawn into another war. But let's bring your colleague in.
This is PNN NYC. Jesus, Isa, Jesus. We're the real Bible people. Jesus.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
It's great to meet you. It's great to have you on the show. How do I address y'all? This is our first time meeting. I see you.
You call me Jesus. My real name Issa though, but you know people call me Jesus. It's
great to have you on RBN. It's great to meet you guys.
Thank you for having me, brother. Aboraz said a lot of good things about you.
I appreciate that. It's great to be in community and great to be in conversation with you guys.
Fact,
I've been chatting for Abu for about 25 minutes now, and we've been discussing all things Iran. I've been covering how the United States is being humbled, the excuses that the Trump administration is making. Obviously, me and Abu was talking about how it's disgusting. They murdered over 100 schoolgirls in Iran. But before I continue, I just want to get your thoughts because we already had a bit of a conversation. I want to get your thoughts on everything that's going on, the perspective your organization has, and how do you believe people should be taking the information we are receiving from Iran right now. So thank you for joining us tonight.
I mean, as far as for the organization, everybody, you know, I can't speak for the whole organization. Everybody has like their own viewpoints, but for the most part, we could all agree that there's a lot of propaganda going on. You see Israeli flags everywhere in these little Iranian protests, and we know it's all complete BS. And they're just basically using any excuse to justify taking over Iran. I believe they want to take over the resources. They want to put that puppet in. What's his name? I forgot the guy's name. The one that everybody knows him for being a cuck. You know, his wife was
Favali?
Yeah. You know, they want to put him in power. You know, you see the same thing going on. Same thing with Venezuela. You got a Zionist woman they're trying to put in power. It just they're trying to go beyond its borders as far as like expanding the Zionist propaganda. And in my opinion, I think it's just we got to keep fighting the social media war. You know, we got to keep showing people light. A lot of people are not knowing the difference between what's going on with AI. There's a lot of AI coming out on our side to make it look like we're liars as well. You know, so it's really tough, man. It's really tough.
Yes, it's great to finally have the Palestine News Network join us tonight. It's great to have you guys on. There's still so much to cover. The amount of backlash that the Trump administration is taking, we don't even have time to cover it all. But even the most diehard bootlickers are realizing that Donald Trump made a gigantic mistake. Like you had the Trump team who was taking their foreign policy advice from people like Ben Shapiro. You say you can't hear us? Can you hear us?
No, sorry, my son called it. I just wanted to let him know so he stops calling. My bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I don't want to spend too much time showing so many of these, but there's so many people on the right that's like, bro, Trump, what the fuck is this? Because like as I mentioned before, Americans love rah-rahing, cheering at successful war, but the second that they see people come back in body bags, once they see the United States empire being embarrassed, that's when you start seeing mood change quickly. Like this is Matt Walsh, one of the biggest empire bootlickers in the world. Zionist, I believe he worked under Ben Shapiro. Like the fact that Donald Trump is losing these foot soldiers, do you understand how badly this has to be going for them? Look, I can't take the gaslighting, guys. I really can't. Conservatives are now running around saying Iran has been waging war on us for 47 years. That's what they're saying to try to justify this. Because they know the American people, they're not buying this bullshit that Iran is going to fire a ballistic missile in the United States. We have a whole ass ocean between us. Do you guys know how oceans work?
No, he's doing.
Go ahead.
So he's doing what the Pentagon's doing. He's trying to distance himself from the sinking ship.
Absolutely, Abu. Absolutely. No, you good. You good. Absolutely. Feel free to chime in anytime. But look, they're not buying nonsense. I'll read this tweet and I'll give you guys' reaction to it. I was shocked when I seen this. I was shocked to see a lot of the conservative backlash I'm seeing. I can't take the gaslighting, guys. I really can't. Conservatives are now running around saying Iran has been waging war on us for 47 years. Okay, then why didn't any of you call for an attack on Iran at any point until now? Why didn't you make a case for Trump ending the war, not starting it, until precisely the moment Trump did it? You and I both know that you're latching on to a talking point you never used until 45 seconds ago. You and I both know that almost every conservative influence in the business was opposed to the war in Iran until just now. Absolutely. And now you're trying to make justification that stretches back decades? That doesn't make any sense. If you change your mind, fine, say so. Explain why. You're not allowed to change your mind. I've changed my mind about things, but don't try to rewrite history. And that's the desperate propaganda that the right is engaging in right now. Because they were like, oh, at first it was for regime change. Well, you guys not changing anything in Iran. They have secession plans. In fact, you united the Iranian people. Donald Trump said, oh, we want to get rid of the nuclear program. Well, you could have came up with a nuclear agreement. And I thought you destroyed the nuclear program. You guys see how none of the lies that Trump and his administration is telling?
I think he's trying to throw people off on the Epstein files as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's trying to deflect it, and on top of that, they're trying to attack different angles. You notice how they're trying to make Israel look like the heroes to help to suppress people of Iran, so-called, you know?
This is 100% to distract from the Epstein files, because I'm still waiting for the Iranian hackers, because the Iranian hackers said they're going to release videos of Trump and his crimes that he committed with Epstein if he attacked Iran. And you know, like the Mossad was threatening him too. Like, if you guys don't attack Iran, we're releasing all the most embarrassing shit. So that's why Iran, they are winning this propaganda war. The victims of the United States empire, they're winning the propaganda war because Iranian foreign ministers, they just say, hey guys, this is a battle between us and the people who bomb and fuck children. Like, they're the battle against the Epstein regime. So Abu, do you want to chime in? Anything else you guys want to add before I move on?
I would say, like Kanye said, when it all falls down. So it's beautiful to see. No, I saw an American firster, not like a Matt Walsh one, but one of the, more maybe Fuentes style. But even them, he said, I had my doubts about Iran. He said, but wow. He said, Russia needs to step their game up. Look what Iran's done. So no, Iran is, they done won everybody over. Like you say, everybody likes a winner. So, and then the funny part, long story, but basically, I don't know if anybody saw the Colombia people tweeted death to America, the Colombia encampment. I was in a group chat. There was some little classic like, oh, they shouldn't say that. I said, bro, the America Firsters are on team death to America. And you idiots are like, oh, the optics. Anyways. But yeah.
They always bitching about the optics and then they're never doing that. They piss me off.
But that's the thing. They're worried about stepping on toes of people that's oppressing us. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't sit there and try to water shit down. You know what I mean? This is the reality of it, and you got to call it like it is.
These are the same motherfuckers who was melting down over people saying from the river to the sea. They was like, you can't say from the river to the sea because you're going to make the Palestine movement look bad. Meanwhile, there are polls that show that the majority of the American people side with the Palestinians over the Israelis. So was they turned off by the phrase river to the sea? It's not that we have bad strategy. That's not the case, because we say these damn phrases and we won the American people. So it's not that. It's that they don't want us to say these phrases because they are liberal Zionists. It's because they support the empire. They support the troops, that kind of stuff. Absolutely. Someone else is speaking now. There's so many I can show you, but I end with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's listen to this clip a little bit. She goes ham against Donald Trump. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene just went absolutely nuclear on Trump's war with Iran.
Miss Marjorie, come on, Revolutionary Blackout Network, Miss Marjorie. We're waiting for you. Just kidding.
They're just, once again, I think these people are just trying to distance themselves. I told Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, bro, the fact you need to be in this fight. You can't be quitting after spending your entire life, after spending years propping up this pedophile. And then you're just going to quit because you're like, oh, they threatened me. Get the fuck out of here. You got a lot to make up for. I think you got a lot to make up for. But it is good that she's speaking out against this kind of stuff. So I watched a little bit of this. If you guys want to chime in, feel free to chime in if you have any thoughts.
What I do know is most Americans, and it's being proved in polling that's coming out, most Americans are completely against this war because, like you said, the president has made no case for it. We live our ordinary lives and we don't feel threatened by Iran. We don't walk around thinking that in any moment an Iranian ballistic missile is going to land on our head. We don't. Here's what Americans, and I want to read off this list. This is what Americans are focused on. 72% of Americans can't afford health insurance. 58% of Americans can't afford car insurance. 67% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 31% of Americans can't afford their back taxes. 50% of Americans are in credit card debt, massive credit card debt. That's where we are in America. And I campaigned with the president. As a matter of fact, I was one of the only Republicans that was out there for Donald Trump when the rest of the neocons, by the way, that are just cheering him on now, had abandoned him and were trying to beat him in a primary and stop him from being president again. I was out there on the front lines for Make America Great Again. And Make America Great Again was supposed to be America first, not Israel first, not any foreign country first, not any foreign people first, but the American people first and our problems. And God bless the Iranian people. I hope to God that they can have a government that is for them and that treats women fairly. But what we have seen happen right now is we have seen over 100 little girls killed at a school from a bomb. And I don't know whose bomb it was, but they're dead today because America and Israel attacked Iran. So that's not really good for.
So, a little rough around the edges. But at least you brought up the school children that was murdered. Unlike a ton of people on MSNBC and CNN. Do you guys have any other thoughts before I continue, Abu? Because you guys see how even the most conservative minded people in the United States see this as a disaster. So who do you guys think will be able to outlast and live through a PR battle? The Iranian people who are fired up and rallying behind their government after their Ayatollah has been assassinated by the Zionist rats? Are the Americans who've been demoralized? The people in the military who are terrified for their lives. So, Abu, Jesus, what are you guys thinking?
As you said, there's the military analysts are going crazy right now. One of the main things is this is not a war of choice for Iran. This is their backs against the wall, fighting for their lives. America, it's a war of choice. It's just human nature. It's what do they say? The size of the dog in the fight and the dog. Iran is going all. And here's what I keep telling somebody said, he said, but they were getting nervous after Khomeini died. They were kind of the libs, like you're saying. They said, but aren't they just going to install the puppet? I said, they can't even install in Gaza in 26 months. How the hell are they going to install in Iran? But same thing. Why can't they install in Gaza? Because they're fighting for their lives. They're either going to kill them all or you can't defeat them. So Iran, it's that times 1,000. So, and yeah, there's more complications as far as different groups in Iran. I don't know all the details, but no, Iran is in it to win it, and they've been preparing, dug in. I don't think it's like you say, they're going to ride it out. Americans are going to lose interest. We'll see what happens. And the entity. Let's go Iran, go Iran, go Iran. That's all I got to say.
All the homies are rooting for Iran. All the homies. Jesus, what are your thoughts?
I think that I don't think they could lose the war on their own territory. They got the terrain. They got a lot more technology. This is a 3,000-year-old superpower. America's only been around for 400 years, and Israel 76 years. These people, this isn't their first rodeo. They've been doing it for thousands of years. I don't think they want a war, but at the same time, like Abu said, their backs against the wall, and you're not just gonna bomb my people and think it's all good and not have any consequences. I think the strategy of them attacking the military bases right away as the first effect was the right response, because that's who's gonna get to them, and they already showed they could go past the Iron Dome. So I think we're just gonna wait it out and see what else happens, honestly.
We have one hell of a roundtable with us tonight, and once again, it's great to be in conversation and community with the Palestine News Network. And we have Abu Nar, I believe. We're meeting for the first time. It's great to have you on RBN. I appreciate you joining us, and I'm looking forward to hearing your perspective. We've been just chatting about the Epstein class and the Western attack on Iran, and how I personally view, because I know that Iran probably took a lot of hits as well, guys, but I view this as a massive disaster for the Trump administration in the West. United States assets are being destroyed. The Middle East is being decolonized from the United States empire. But I want to get your perspective, just very vaguely. Thank you for joining us in the conversation today, Abu.
I've been an expert on this topic for years and researching this topic for years. So this is what I expected to occur. And the Iranians were prepared, because they got rid of Khomeini, but the missiles are still coming in. And boom, boom, Tel Aviv season 2 came out. I'm happy about that. The best way, I think, to end this war quickly, I think Iran should just keep firing at Israel and pounding them. And because at the 12-day war, what happened was Israel was getting well, I don't want to say that word because I don't want to get you censored. They were getting destroyed. And they had to do a ceasefire because Israel was getting destroyed, and it was a one-way battle. What Israel is trying to do is to get America involved and to go into and turn Iran into another Iraq. But here's what people don't understand. Iran's population is 90 million people, okay? 90 million people. And it's 2 or 3 times the size of Iraq. And it's the gateway to Russia and China. And China and Russia will not allow Iran to fall, because if Iran falls, China and Russia's next, and the oil is under the control of the Zionists. So to keep it short, so we keep the conversation going, I think Iran is going to keep pounding Israel. Our economy is going to take a hit because oil is skyrocketing. They closed the Strait of Hormuz. And the incompetence of our military and of Israel's military and of the Gulf states is embarrassing at this point. Because according to what I read, 500 to 1,000 American soldiers have already been killed, and an aircraft carrier allegedly has been hit, and Iran has set hypersonic missiles. I mean, these missiles are so fast you could only see it for like a split second, and they're hitting Tel Aviv, they're hitting Haifa, they're hitting the military bases, they hit Israeli desalination plants, they're hitting desalination plants in the Gulf. So this is going to be a big war. This is not Iraq or Syria or Venezuela. Iran has been dug in for 20 years. They've been studying this for 20 years. So yeah, I hope Iran keeps keeping the Israelis running. They need to lose some calories, obviously, and I hope they stay in the bunkers where they belong.
Fucking ball worshipping tunnel rats. Like you have all these Israelis. They taking selfies like, "Hey man, pray for us. I'm in my bunker." Like. Then they get in ratio. Like, bro, this is where you guys. This is the end game of your culture. You guys are fucking tunnel rats, hiding from the.
They pulled out 70,000 reserves for what? They're not gonna do. You know what I mean? They only fight with missiles. They never fight head on. Why do you think they flatten out Gaza? Because they'll never fight head on.
Exactly.
So those 70,000 reserves is just for show. Who's really fighting? It's the American troops that get. How many Israeli troops got killed as opposed to American troops?
Zero.
Come on.
I have a suggestion. If they want America to get involved, Israel should go first. Front lines. Will they go first?
Absolutely.
I dare them.
Run like the Marines.
We'll provide the Pampers. We'll provide the Pampers and the Huggies and everything. They just have to go in first. We'll provide. We will sponsor. Pampers and Huggies will sponsor the IDF. Free Pampers.
I don't know if you saw this, Abu, because I'll talk about this a little bit before you join, but there's a ton of Jewish supremacists like Bill Ackman. There's John Fetterman, all the people who wanted Americans to die for this war. They're like, I appreciate you guys.
When is he going? When is he going? Is he going or not?
No, that fat fuck, he's staying back, and he's like, I appreciate you guys for making a sacrifice for Israel.
So we donate Randy Fine to the Israeli Air Force. I think it'll be worthwhile. He's very big, That guy's very big.
They need to drop him as an airstrike.
I call him Randy Fatty Patty. Randy Fatty Patty. You know what it is? I think they don't want to use him because if they drop him, he's so fat, he'll go against gravity itself. He'll bounce back up and destroy the plane that dropped him.
Dude, Marco Rubio just admitted that the reason why United States soldiers are dead because the United States had to strike before Israelis had to sacrifice their life. He just admitted on camera, bro. This is a disaster for them.
I mean, they can't hide it at this point. The American people are woken up. Everybody knows the Zionists is the cause of all the problems. From the propaganda, they run everything. They run our media, they run our banks, they run our schools, they run our food, like literally everything. and people are tired of it. You know.
Speaking of which, I have a question for everyone on the panel here. Why isn't anyone talking about what's going on in Lakewood, New Jersey? I don't know if you saw that video.
Oh yeah.
In Lakewood, New Jersey. Where's the Nick Fuentes and the America First people and saying that, because they keep saying the Muslims are coming. Bro, the Zionists came a long time ago. Like Zionists are taking over neighborhoods, bro. Like they're talking about a two-state solution in New Jersey, bro. That's what's going on.
How dare you notice that? How dare you notice them?
No, well, guys, I think New Jersey was promised to them 5,000 years ago. You know,
all these white people Yonkers too. Over here in New York, they started to take over Yonkers.
All these white people, bro, get off the way, man. This land was promised to them 3,000 years ago, and if you don't give it to them, you're anti-Semite. You freaking anti-Semites. Go, get the hell out. Go outside of New Jersey. As a matter of fact, Pennsylvania and New York. And all the tri-state area was promised to them. That's part of Greater Israel in the Western Hemisphere. Greater Israel starts over here,
Yeah, it's been wild to realize everything that they accuse Arabs and Muslims of was pure projection. Because they said, the Muslims are taking over the West because they don't assimilate. They don't assimilate. They want to take over.
What's funny? You know what's funny? Who pushed Muslims into Europe and the United States? Israeli organizations bring in Muslims to Europe because they want the Muslims and the Christians to fight each other. But if Israel didn't destroy the Middle East, right? This is what makes me laugh. If the people on the right want less Muslims in America, I have a perfect solution. Stop supporting Israel. Let Israel get destroyed. I will be the first one. Once Palestine is liberated, I'll be the first one. I'll leave America voluntarily. Because there's nothing in this country. Everyone is a wage slave. And I got land in Palestine. So, I'll be the first one to leave. First class ticket out of here. Just don't support Israel.
I thought the Jews always complained about how they were treated in Europe. We said, hey, man, move back to Poland. Like, we want you guys to go back to Poland, go back to Germany, like, go back to Europe, and you guys will apparently be safe. Get out of the Middle East. Like, that's why I don't even like when, there's the right-wingers say all these... We need to deport the Israelis back. No, we don't need to deport the Israelis back to Palestine. They need to go back to Poland. They need to come back to New Jersey. Then we're gonna try them for war crimes. Because we got a ton of Americans, these American Jews. They don't sign up for the United States military. They sign up to fight for the IDF. They got thousands of Americans who was committing a genocide in Gaza, and we're supposed to be okay with them back home. Nah, fuck that. Send their ass back home in America.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Abu. Feel free.
If Palestinians, look, I don't mind. We need to be fair. If Americans want to go join the IDF, okay, no problem. If Arabs are able to go join the Palestinian army, no problem. We have to be fair. No problem. I don't mind fighting face to face in the battlefield. If tomorrow America says Palestinians can go to Gaza or go to wherever, Lebanon, Syria, wherever, and they could join, and we could fight these so-called false Israeli Americans because they put Israel first, not America first. I'm all for it. But here's the problem: who controls America? America and Israel are the same. Because our politicians are pedophiles, guys. I don't know if I could say that word. Can I say that word? I don't know. I'm not sure these days.
You can say whatever you want on the channel, by the way. There's no censorship here, guys.
No, because I want to make sure that when you post it, you don't get censored. That's why I'm asking. Because
I get in trouble all the time, man. It's all good.
Just bleep whatever you need to bleep. Anyway, point being, bro, where are all these Israeli Americans, man? Let's put them on the front lines. Where Netanyahu's son and his mom are right now. His wife, where they are right now? They're in Miami, baby. So if anyone wants to ask him any questions, they want to have a discussion with him, he's down there in Florida. Obviously we do not advocate any violence against him. But if anyone wants to go ask any questions, he's right there chilling in Miami right now.
That's like I always say, I want for the Israelis exactly what they do for the Palestinians and their enemies. So what the Israelis do, like for example, when they murder journalists, because they're the state leader in the world in murdering journalists. They will wait till the journalists go home so they can bomb the journalist's house and kill their entire family.
Sure, but Hamas was there. They were there.
So once again, like, you can get mad at me all you want, guys, but I advocate the same shit for Israelis that they do to their enemies. So yeah, apparently according to their laws of warfare, Netanyahu and his entire family is fair target because they just killed
in their religion. In their religion. In the Talmud and in the Torah, right? Certain passages they take out of context. They say we have to kill everybody, even the animals, even little children. right? It's in their books. Go read the Talmud. Go read the Torah.
What is it called? Amalek.
Don't you know reading their books is anti-Semitic? It's anti-Semitic to read their books.
No. Here's a huge one.
But
The
that's
Torah
the thing,
and
man.
Talmud is
I'm gonna be real,
anti-Semitic.
right? I don't like that term anti-Semitic to them. They're
We're
not
Semitic, bro. What they're doing is anti-Semitic. Identity theft. They did identity theft.
They
These
stole
people.
our
They are white
identity.
people.
Yo, you know what's crazy? I got into a little debate with the Zion. You know who is that Jewish warrior bastard? You know what I'm talking about?
Ronan Levi. Ronan Levi. Yo,
You wanna laugh?
Yo, can we bring him on here? I dare this guy. This guy, bro, he doxes people, bro. He doxed me. This guy, I challenge him. He's probably shape-shifting, hiding in his bunker. Shape-shifting.
Anyway, they're talking about Batar, by the way. If you guys know Batar, anyhow.
Yeah, but he ended up hitting me up like trying to put water under the bridge. I'm like, yo, after all you did, you want to put water on the bridge? He's like, oh, let's have a conversation. I'm like, bro, how about this? Let's settle this debate. Take a DNA test. He's like, oh, I took a DNA test, right? He sent me his DNA test, right? And then I guess some of it said like Middle Eastern, and then you had the small part that said Levantine, right? I guess he don't know what Levantine is because he's a fucking idiot, right? Levantine, for you guys don't know, Levantine is Syria, Palestine, Jordan, Lebanon. That's Levantine area. He only had 2%. I had 96% Levantine, and he says that it's his land. And mind you, the DNA test that he took, I took Ancestry. Ancestry is different. The DNA test that he took, the one that he sent me, it says Levantine, and on the bottom it says Palestine areas.
Where is he from, if you don't mind me asking? The majority.
Palestine.
No, but the majority, where is he from? Like the majority of his DNA.
He's Iranian.
Oh, so he's a shape-shifty Zionist from Iran.
Yes, yeah, he's one of those.
So let's send him to Iran, man. Let's send him back there. When is he going back? Since he wants to, declare war on Iran, we could send him on the front lines with diapers.
I mean, look, you could tell that guy don't care about anybody. He got a fucking Venmo on his bio. You know what I mean? He's asking these guys, like, that's enough. Body language, you could say all you want. Your body language say more than anything, regardless.
But I have something to say though. We are in danger here in America because, in my opinion, there's going to be a draft. There is going to be a draft, and they're going to try to force us to go fight Israel's war.
I wish they fucking would.
It is our job to hold the line. I don't mind going to jail, man. Free food. Free food.
I'm leaving the country. I'm out. I got dual citizenship. Peace.
What they say? I'll serve.
I'll go with you, Asaf. I'll go with you.
Yeah.
For real. That's a fact.
And there are soldiers in the military, bro. They are supporting Iran openly. We have veterans coming out like, you know what? Iran is right.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is how lost Israel is right now, bro. They're doing this now because they know in the coming generations and next 10, 20 years, they're not going to have a slave like Trump. Don't get me wrong. All American presidents will serve Israel, but they're not going to serve Israel to this extent. There hasn't been an American president like Trump in decades. You know why? Because they have the tapes. It's time to return on investment. They have the tapes.
I think Trump's like a worse version of George Bush, and I didn't think it'd get worse than Bush.
Trump is more retarded than him, bro. So anyway, bro, continue. You guide the conversation.
I'm greatly enjoying this conversation. If you guys can't tell, I'm having a blast. But regarding to what we were just talking about, you guys realize? Have you noticed that Zionists started using the term like Jew hate instead of anti-Semitic now? Like, you guys realize they're like, we can't say anti-Semitic no more. Let's call it Jew hate because people are starting to pick up on the fact that they're not Semitic people. It's why I always like to bring up all the time. Like Malcolm X used to talk about it. Kwame Ture used to talk about like, how can you call me anti-Semitic when you're not a Semitic person? You're from Poland, fam. You're from Poland.
I mean, like
go back to Europe.
We can end all this with a simple DNA test battle. It's simple.
Yep.
Honestly, I want to make a special Instagram dedicated to Israelis who want to volunteer their DNA test against like a versus. You ever watch versus when
like the Maury show
against D Block? I want to do a DNA versus on Instagram.
Like the Maury show, basically.
That'll settle everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe in I fuck that 2-state solution bullshit. 1-state solution. Prove your ancestors belong here. And if you belong there, you will live in a state where everyone have equal rights. Because as far as I remember, Palestine they provided safe haven for Jewish people before. But you know what's not going to happen? Anyone who signed up for the IDF, you're not walking free. So guess what? We can have a 1-state solution where everyone live free in Palestine, but everyone who served the IDF, your ass is going to prison.
That's 90%. That's 90% of Israel.
Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. It may be 90%, maybe whatever, man. You guys always had a choice. That you had a few of these, like there'd be like these super ultra orthodox Jewish people that I'd rather go to jail. Man, you should have did that, man. You should have went to prison before so anyone who stepped foot in Gaza, it's my life goal for your ass to get hanged one day. Like you guys realize there's no statute of limitation for war crimes, right? And you guys see how anti-Israel, the Gen Z generation, the young millennials like myself, we are. What do you guys think going to happen to these genocidal maniacs when they get to the age 30, 60, 70? All the boomers are gone. You know, the last generation that was brainwashed by Zionism, they're gone. All the politicians who supported Israel, they're gone. What do you think going to happen to these people? They're going to be 60 years old in their rocking chair, and we're going to grab their ass and put them through a Nuremberg-style trial. And I'm a revolutionary optimist, and I believe this has to happen. That's something I'm going to work towards. You guys think you're going to come back to the United States and whatever country that you have another passport for and live freely?
I mean, like they say, no justice, no peace.
Let you motherfuckers down. But go ahead.
I mean, like they say, no justice, no peace. People got to be held accountable. You know, I don't think the people is gonna settle for them just walking free and just forgetting about it. You know, people got to be held accountable. You know, same way they did to Saddam. You know what I mean? I want the same fate for them.
Very well said.
We gotta be real though. I don't think anytime soon they're gonna be held to account because they control America and America has their back. Maybe 20, 30 years down the line, things will change. But in my opinion, if you want your rights, it's not through the ICC. It's not through these fake courts that are controlled by the West and by Israel. It is through resistance, through arms. That's the only way. We've seen it in history. We've seen it in Vietnam. We've seen it all over the place. You know what I would like, to be honest with you? Palestinian military walking in the streets of Tel Aviv or walking in the streets of Haifa and just quickly, man, save everyone time, save the jury time. They are the judge, jury, and executioner. The Palestinians should be the ones to do that. Okay, we're not gonna do no ICC BS because that's controlled by Israel. The only way you get justice, of course, according to international law, Palestinians are there to defend themselves. You see those firearms they have, the bullets that come out of them, that's justice against the Israeli military.
Hey, the ICC didn't bring justice. No ICC, IRGC brings justice. That's what we want.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I want. Like my thing is like, man, as much as I want to be the one who brings justice to them, I'll bring them to the Palestinians. Hey, Palestinians, you guys do whatever you want to the IDF guys. If they want to be nice, I guess that's y'all call. Like if you want to be nice and give them a prison term, but I'll let you guys take. I'll let you guys decide what you do to them. I don't think you guys are gonna be so nice. And I want our Iranian brothers and sisters to do whatever they want to the people who murder all the school children. You know what I mean? I'm not the judge. You're 100% right. I love what you said there. But we're nearly an hour of this conversation. There's so much I can cover. We got a lot of great guests joining us throughout the week. I told you guys that military analysts, they are cooking right now. There are a lot of people who analyze warfare for a living. They make social media posts about it. This is like their Super Bowl. Like there's a lot of people analyzing why Donald Trump messed up. I don't have enough time to read many of them, but I want to at least quickly cover a few of them before we wrap our conversation up. We also have super chats to read. So we have just a few more crucial things we get to before we wrap up. And regarding the new strategic pact that was signed between Iran, Russia, and China, we are already seeing that work out and how that's benefiting Iran, how that's benefiting China and Russia. Because you know the Straits of Hormuz that shut down, you guys know they're allowing Chinese and Russian ships through that Straits of Hormuz, right? You guys realize that Russia and China is providing Iran military equipment that is making it so that the United States is fighting a demon they never fought before because they're being armed by Russia and China. Look, a Chinese jamming system is disabling United States fighter jets. Fam, the United States military is not used to dealing with this massive kind of alliance with modern warfare and modern technology. This is what Trump and the regime miscalculated. All right, so let me finish the tweet. A Chinese jamming system is disabling the U.S. fighter jets radar system, which has caused multiple U.S. and Israeli fighter jets to be hit by Iranian air defense systems, even as far away from Kuwait. And remember the soldier I showed you guys that was captured? Iran has exceeded all expectations. So this has been a disaster for the United States, and that's why they are spending a lot of time spinning. And many people who do this kind of analysis, I think this guy from Turkey, I believe. I'm not too familiar with this person, but this is a fantastic thread. And there's many other threads with a lot of great military analysis on what's going on. As I said before, it's a Super Bowl for political nerds like me right now. For these people who've been, there have been people who've been predicting how a potential war between the United States and Iran would go for years. There have been people who predicted it would be horrific for the West. All these people are like, "Hey, man, I told you so." Like, it's a big receipt moment, a big moment of reconciliation for many people who are neocons who thought this would go better for the United States. This is why in the title I say the United States has been humiliated by Iran. The West has been humbled by Iran. You have European countries that are walking back. You had Germany, Friedrich Merz in Germany was asked if they're going to join this coalition. They were like, nah, fuck that. Like, we're not going to join this shit. The U.S. is getting pounded. So here's just one explanation of in a great thread explaining what's going on and why the U.S. miscalculated. When the U.S. and Israel launched their operation, their core assumption was that Iran would collapse very quickly. Mistake number one. And guys, you guys have any thoughts, feel free to chime in. But you guys see the miscalculation, how they thought this was going to be another Venezuela?
They were sleeping.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, they were just sleeping. They don't realize how powerful Iran is. And God, if anybody else just jumps in and helps Iran, like if a country like Russia or China or even Turkey, these are powerful military forces. Like it's gonna be really bad.
Yeah, let me continue this. Like, they explain how they thought this would end fast. They thought that after killing Khamenei, that Iran would be desperate to negotiate. Like the delusion, and the only thing they did was rally the Iranian forces. Like the plan didn't hold. In context of the Shiite political culture, by killing the greatest spiritual leader, they triggered the perception of martyrdom and achieved societal cohesion. Not only that, you have people storming military bases in Iraq. All over the Middle East, there's now this decolonization that's going on that started with Iran's attack. So to sum up the first paragraph, they explain how their plan immediately didn't work. Launching the operation on the morning of Saturday, February 28th, was part of the uprising scenario following a short decapitation period. With global markets closed, the expectation, this is important, the expectation was to secure initial military results, kill the Iranian leaders, step back, and then have like a ceasefire with the Iranian leadership. Then by doing that, the markets would stabilize, and it wouldn't be that big of a blow by Monday. But that is not what happened. In fact, Iran started engaging in blockades that tanked the oil markets, and now we're going to see massive economic retaliation against the West. And then we can continue here. Within the first 48 hours, 6 waves of attacks targeted U.S. bases in the Gulf, hitting 27 American facilities. And the number is climbing, guys. The closure of Dubai airport, cancellation of regional flights, the inability of even financial capital networks to evacuate the area are deepening the crisis. Most critically, the U.S. security dome is cracking on all fronts for these states. The adopted children of financial capital, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, UAE, the Arab monarchies, sheltered under United States protective shield through the bases facilities they provided, are for the first time experiencing so openly that they serve as geopolitical instruments and they serve as geopolitical instruments and intelligence gathering hubs. So what they're explaining is, and I mentioned this earlier in the stream, a lot of these Gulf Arab states realize that U.S. bases not keeping them safe is making them a giant target. But before I continue, because there's a lot to break down here, I want to get the panel back in here. Do you guys see this as accurate? They're explaining how, and the threat keeps going, all the strategic defeats that the United States has suffered in this war, what they expected, what were the consequences of that. But on top of all of this, you have rising U.S. Casualties. You have decreasing support in Gulf Arab states. And I'm going to pull this up because Saudi Arabia is throwing them under the bus. Here, let me show this last part, and then I'll get you guys in here. Here's the last thing I'll share. Like, this is what Saudi Arabia is saying. What does this say? Look, America has abandoned us and focused its defense systems on protecting Israel, leaving Gulf states to host its military bases at the mercy of Iranian missiles and drones. And I could not overstate this part. The fall of the legitimacy of the United States empire and how they will protect their satellite states. Like, losing the confidence of these states is a gigantic blow to U.S. hegemony. Do you guys see the same? Am I overstating it?
Let me respond. Let me respond because basically, this is my opinion. The Arab countries are like a woman in an abusive relationship. They always go back to that boyfriend that's abusing them. They say the facts like, oh, America, they're not protecting us. These Gulf states are the shield for Israel. They are doing their job. America doesn't care, or even these governments, they don't care if their citizens get hit. I mean, in Jordan, there was protests and there was some videos like, yo, the king is shooting down missiles coming to Israel, and the missiles get shot and they hit Jordan.
People.
Yeah, and in Saudi Arabia, they're saying, oh, they're complaining. Okay, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? If you're really pissed, get the Americans out. Get the Emiratis out. And plus, behind the scenes, MBS was pressuring America with Israel, bomb Iran. Okay, where's the American so-called protection? Okay, because according to the petrodollar agreement of 1974, America is supposed to protect Saudi Arabia. Trump is not doing that because their baby, Israel, that's the number one nation that needs to be protected. Screw Saudi Arabia, screw Jordan, and these governments, America is willing to sell them. Henry Kissinger had a famous quote. I'm going to end with this. Henry Kissinger had a quote: America does not have allies. America is like a fire. When you go close to America, it will burn you. Yes, when you're an enemy of America, it will still burn you. But when you're a friend of America, you'll get burned. Like how Saddam Hussein got burned, like how Libya got burned when they listened to the United States, like how Mubarak got burned. So tomorrow, these countries might become the enemy of Israel. I mean, Israel already openly said they're going to expand. And the ambassador of the United States, Mike Huckabee, said that if Israel wants, they can expand to the Nile, from Nile to the Euphrates. And what are the Arab states doing to prepare? Because I guarantee you, if they're able to finish Gaza and Iran, they're gonna go in these Arab countries like how a thief enters a store and just take everything where there's no security. These Arab countries need to depend on themselves and ally with themselves. But that's not going to happen because these leaders are incompetent and they worship America and Israel. They will complain today, and then tomorrow they'll make up with America, and America will keep abusing them because the Arab countries are like a girlfriend that likes to be abused. They forget, they have Alzheimer's. So that's my take.
Yeah, it makes me sad, man. Like I explained it on my channel because you have like the Black Congressional Caucus, who are the biggest Zionists in the world, by the way, the biggest capitalists. They sell out our community, so I feel so much like solidarity and pain with my Arab brothers and sisters who go through the same thing that we go through in the Black community with our sellout leaders. But bro, the amount that the Arab leaders sold out their people, and that's why there are videos of people in Kuwait, a lot of Arab brothers and sisters who are cheering when they saw the bombs hit United States bases, because that wasn't their choice. They wanted to be in solidarity with the Palestinians. But once again, their leader sold them out. I want to get the rest of you guys in. Jesus, if you want to chime in. Abu, any final thoughts? It was great to have you guys on and be in conversation with you guys. I don't want to take too much of your guys' time tonight, but we definitely got to have you guys back on because I enjoyed this conversation and I learned a lot from you guys as well. So, Jesus, like you in here, and Abu, I would love to hear you guys. Any other thoughts you guys have on this?
I'm gonna let Abu take it.
For real.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. It's been an honor. I'm a fan of RBN. I love Rome. I love Nick.
Appreciate you, my brother.
We're kind of in similar spaces, you know, where you guys get pushed back in your neck of the woods. We get pushed back for being, you know, not always sticking to what you're supposed to stick to. So let's keep the conversation going, keep building community, as you say.
That's how you know we will get along. We will get along very well then in that case. if unapologetic true spitter. So go ahead. We will let that back on.
I just have a good conclusion. I just have a conclusion to give you guys because the midterms are coming up. Now we have to elect people. For example, in Illinois, we have a candidate. Her name is Abu Ghazala. She's running, and we have other candidates running to put America first, actually. And the battle is in our ballot boxes. People have to go out and vote for the correct candidate. I'm not saying vote Democrat or Republican. That mentality is gone. Vote. It does the candidate take money from AIPAC? Because if the Democrat, well, I'm not going to say that. If the correct politicians win in the midterms, we could at least have a little bit control of the situation, and America first will actually come to fruition. But if we do not take the correct course of action, you know, whether it's boycotting, because protesting, in my opinion, is not enough. Protest doesn't do, in my opinion, generally, it has a certain impact, but it doesn't get the job done. You got to boycott. We got to work with our communities. We got to help each other business-wise. And we just have to basically put the right people in power and cut the AIPAC, get AIPAC and all these lobbying groups out of our politics.
Abu, Jesus, anything you guys want to add? Once again, it was great to have you.
I was gonna say it's also the little things, you know, like support mom and pop shops. Like why go to a Starbucks when you could go to a mom and pop's coffee shop? Like we got to keep our money within the community. We got to help each other flourish. That's the way we build each other up. You know, we can't be too dependent on these Zionist companies, you know, and that goes a long way. We got to help educate people, you know, like the Yemenis do right now. They bring their people back home. They put them on. They open up a store. Like, we really got to build a community. And it's crazy because Zionists say it all the time, and the answer's right in front of us. They say we'll never win because we don't know how to stick together. And the main thing is sticking together. I don't care if you're black, Puerto Rican, Arabic, Asian. We all have the same enemy. We might have different shades. We might have different cultures, but it's the same enemy, and we want the same thing. We want to live with dignity. We want our kids to be happy. We want to have resources. We don't want to starve. We don't want to not have a roof. We just want the simple things, you know, and we don't want to be suppressed. So it starts with the small things, is building our communities.
Very well said, absolutely, and that's why we got to form this popular front, stand in solidarity with each other, because the Afro community, the Black community, and the Arab community, the Palestine community, we have a long-standing tradition of standing in solidarity with each other. And like I said, the Goyim, they're waking up, fam. Like there's mass awareness of what's required to take on this massive genocidal, child torturing Epstein class that we're against. Abu Raz, did you have
make these bands right here? Remember the Live Strong bands, the Nike ones? I'm gonna make it Goy Strong. We all come together.
Yeah. I like that. We definitely gotta have you guys back on. I greatly enjoyed this conversation. Abu Raz, was there anything you want to add? Any final thoughts that you guys have? Make sure you got anything you want to promote. Where can they find you guys? Like, how can they support your work, guys? Anything? Any final thoughts?
So I'm on TikTok and I'm on Instagram and on X as Abu Nar, and my Instagram handle is ara.by99. If anyone, you know, wants to look at my work, I'm known to trigger Zionists all the time. You know, I'm the guy who came up with America first or Israel first, and people should be asking those questions to their politicians, or ask it at random people on the street. Who do you put first, America or Israel? Because that's where it's headed, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, that's where you can find me. I hope also PNN and Abu Ras promote their stuff as well. So yeah, guys.
Abu Nar is our in-house political analyst. Yeah, we're always getting deleted, but on Twitter, Palestine News Network. My new Instagram is PNN burner account, and my TikTok, I honestly don't know because the handles are weird, and they deleted that too. We've had 30 TikToks, Instagrams deleted, but just follow it, find us here, follow RBN in Rome, and we'll all stay connected. But thank you so much, bro. It's truly right there. It's been an honor, and I think great. The strength is in, and this is what I tell to the Palestinians. They talk in their same echo chamber, and everybody. And then when you come with fresh energy, they get a little weary. So for everybody who's tired of this, it's like Suge Knight. You tired of the stale energy? Come on over to RBN. Tired of the organizers all in your face? Come on, just kidding. But yeah, no, thank you so much. And
RBN plus Palestine News Network, dude. This alliance is too powerful, my friends. This alliance is way too powerful. So we definitely gotta have you guys back on. Make sure you guys follow them. They tweet out bangers all the time. That's why I became
they kicked me off Instagram. I'm a refugee, so I had to come to Twitter. I showed up and started firing like Tony Montana.
Yeah, X is mostly my domain. That's why I mostly know of your guys' work. But I gotta check you guys out on Instagram. But you guys, I know for sure that they got bangers on X, and you guys missing out if you're not following them. So it's great to be in solidarity with you guys. I'll pop you guys in the back. I appreciate you guys' time tonight. We definitely gonna do this again. I appreciate you guys.
Peace, brother.
Thank you, bro.
All right, let me read some super chats. We got a lot of great shows. I think we got Adnan Hussein join us on Wednesday. I want to make sure I don't miss any super chats before we wrap up. What a great group of people that was. That was a fantastic. I had a lot of fun with that conversation, and we're gonna host more of these. I want to do a Palestine summit. Have more diverse voices on in the struggle against Jewish supremacy. But let's read some super chats. What's poppin'? Zoya's love. Zoya's life. What's poppin', my friend?
Another banger in the library.
We always in the lab cooking, Zoya. We always in the lab cooking. Who we have on Friday? I know we got Anon on Wednesday. We have anyone Friday?
We have the wonderful Adnan, who's a professor on Wednesday, and Friday from the Marxist-Leninist Maoist Institute, Alex McKay. By popular demand, the audience has been asking us to have him on RBN for a really long time. So finally, Alex McKay will join.
Oh, hell yeah. Man, Soya been cooking. We've been cooking. So we got a crazy week. There was a lot I wanted to cover, but we didn't get a chance to, but I'll be back on Wednesday. I did a stream on Saturday discussing this, so there's gonna be a lot of updates. I'm already seeing a lot of updates as we speak, like the increase of U.S. casualties being reported. It's nasty work that's going on right now. But let's get into super chats. Thank you for 1999. Big girls don't cry. Trump struck down Epstein blackmail. This is war, and that's why you have to do it. I think we got 2 super chats from them. I appreciate the super chats, my friend. Did I read this one? Few days before the war, Burkina Faso's foreign minister was in Iran. Yeah, Burkina Faso. Like I wish I had more time to cover this. Zoya, you've been sending a lot of tweets on. You've been on top of this, but their partnership with Russia, especially on energy, is a game changer. Like France has been panicking. The West has been panicking over the increased influence that China and Russia has in Africa. And once again, the U.S. influence is going to drop even more in the Middle East as this war continues to spread. Like, it's not good for the West. And what Burkina Faso is cooking, what was cooking in the Sahel in general with anti-Western, Pan-African views spreading, it's a crazy time to be alive. A few days before the war, Burkina Faso's foreign minister was in Iran. Strategic partners, technology, missiles in Sankara, meeting Ali Khamenei as friends. Thank you. Let me read a few more and we begin to wrap up. Narco Rubio. Thank you for your super chat. I'm going to show more clips with them because they've been avoiding the media. I didn't show you the clip of Pete Hegseth. My brother Nico, my hotspot brother Nico, he has a banger where he showed a clip of Pete Hegseth essentially having a meltdown because he was asked about U.S. troops being sacrificed, and he had no plan. So it's tough to be a member of the Trump administration or a Trump voter right now. Thank you for hosting PNN. Love the work both of you all do. Absolutely. It's great to finally have PNN on. Did the first time we have him on, Zoya? I think it was.
Yeah, this is the first time. I'm going to take over reading the super chats. Just because we're trying this new thing out with Nick, guys. I'm going to be like his staff, like Jimmy Dore has, and just help him out with like reading super chats and closing out the show.
I definitely need it.
So we're experimenting. Bear with us.
Yeah.
I think we just also got a new super chat right here. Thank you for the solidarity. Chief Madul, 1989 for the $5. The Arab League, Congressional Black Caucus, and African Union are all sellouts. Couldn't agree with you more. And I think that puts us at being caught up with the super chats, actually.
I think that's what we're gonna do from now on. We're gonna have Zoya do intermissions with us. It's gonna help definitely for like the longer streams. Like whenever I do like my longer solo stream, I'm gonna have Zoya come in like maybe like halfway through. Like, hey, Zoya, let me get a break. You want to take over? You want to cook for a bit? Because Zoya can cook. Like if you got, I remember Zoya back in the old spaces back in the day. So yeah, we experiment with this. Maybe on the solo stream we can play around with this more. Have Zoya read some chats. It's hard. I wish I could talk to you guys more because I missed a lot of chats. Zoya, maybe you can star some chats that I missed. They're like not like super chats, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't know if you got members. Zoya used to be in the space spitting, bro. Zoya, any other announcements? Anything else you want to add before we begin to wrap up? I think this is what we're gonna do, especially like our solo stream is definitely gonna help. Where I can take a break, maybe halfway through, have Zoya come in, answer some questions, read some chats. Then I come back. Yeah, we got to play around with this more, Zoya.
We're going to definitely have some fun with this. So just to close out, a friendly reminder that all this work is funded by you guys. So please support us on Patreon at the link you see on the screen and in the description. We are working class, and all of this takes a lot of research and work behind the scenes. So we really appreciate you guys helping just cover the lights, the groceries, and the bills that come with doing all of this stuff. And organize your communities, just like he said. Oh, one more super chat. Hang on just a second. You guys are determined to keep us here, of course, as always. And we got a great super chat here from SBZP5KN, $5. The Shah's son is a predator. He, at 25, dated his wife when she was 15 and married her when she was 17. Spread the word. It's on her Wikipedia page.
The whole idea of I love how Reza Pahlavi and the Bavalis, their movement is dead. You guys realize that, right? Like the idea of Reza ever coming back to Iran and being able to rule, never in a million fucking years would that ever happen. Now, especially after Reza cheered on the fake ass Zionist crown prince with his stupid fucking big ass nose. Like he was like, yeah, I think we should strike. I want my own country people to be murdered by Israeli United States strikes. Any sacrifice is good enough for me. Like, bro, he was caught on film supporting the airstrikes against his own people. Do you think the Iranian people would ever forgive him for that? He can stay in his little safe spaces in the West all he wants. He can stay with Miriam Alderson, who he's good friends with, all he wants. But what do you think will happen to this man if he stepped foot in Iran ever again? It's the hope, like him, his family, they will get torn to shreds if they ever step foot in Iran again. That's why whenever people ask, like, will the fake crown prince take over if the Mossad color revolution was successful? Even the Trump administration and conservative propagandists, they're like, I don't know about that, because they know that there's no way the Iranian people will ever accept anyone who had anything to do with this. And all those fake-ass Iranian diaspora psychopaths who are cheering for the death of their own Iranian brothers and sisters, they will never be able to step in their land ever again. I'm confident in saying that. Obviously, there's a lot of fog of war. There's still a lot to play out. We all know how this is going to end. But there's one motherfucking thing I can say I'm confident of. All these Iranians who were cheering this on, the people, the Arabs in the Middle East, all the people who are against this campaign, they will remember, all the Iranian whores doing these little TikTok dances, cheering on the death of Khamenei. You will never be able to live safely in the Middle East again. Hope you guys realize that. So that's one of the positives, the death of the Pavalist movement, the death of the fake-ass crown prince. They will never be able to go to Iran. And if I ever ran for office, which is impossible now because of the shit I tweeted about U.S. troops, but if I ever ran for office, you guys want to know what will be on my platform? My platform, I propose we deport every single one of these Iranian diaspora motherfuckers, and so they can see how much the Iranian people appreciate them selling out their own country. If I'm wrong, hey, remember they said the majority of the Iranian people is against the regime. Didn't they say that? Didn't they say the majority of the Iranian people are on their side? So why would that be controversial if I want you to go back home in Iran? And if you're right and I'm wrong, they will welcome you as a liberator, right? Something tells me it's not going to go down like that. Something tells me that all these Iranian diaspora people made their mind up that they will never, ever go to Iran ever again because you guys will not be safe, and you shouldn't be. Well, so thank you for that super chat. So,
yeah, we have one more right here. It's from Girl Gone Mad 1. Thank you for the $5. Either Gaza will live like the world or the world will live like Gaza. Those are powerful words to end the stream on.
Yeah, very well said. Did I read these two? I want to make sure. Did I read this one? This all their super chat. Did I read this one, Zoya?
I'm not sure. Let's give him another shout out just to be safe. JB joins, brother. Thank you for the $5. FHL is life. Keep pushing forward, brother. The people are with you.
Abu and Palestine News Network, they're killing it. Here's another one, Zoe. You want to read this one?
Yes, at PHX6. Thank you for the $4.99. Abu, your videos are gold. I'd love to join you. Keep fighting the good fight, both of you. Thank you for the support. And really a huge thank you to PNN for joining us today. Powerful collaboration. Yeah, RBN and PNN.
That was fantastic. I'm excited for this new system that we got, Zoya. We get to hear from Zoya more. I've been dreaming of this moment. We finally get to have it.
I'm gonna be your MC.
Zoya's love, Zoya's life. I thank you guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday with Adnan. I'm excited for Zoya to join us for that one too. Now, look at me. I'm a fan of Zoya too. Appreciate you guys. See you guys on Wednesday. Hope you guys enjoy the stream. I hope you guys learned something. And I hope you guys are excited to join this fight with the Iranian people against our empire. I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Take care.